Listen, we laid an egg today. Defensively, we broke down in the wrong places, especially in the first quarter, and we gave up shots that we've been taking away from everybody. And the second quarter, we held them to 9 points. So our defense, I thought we did a great job of adjusting. We just couldn't get going offensively today. I felt like we got good looks. We were not able to get out in transition like we've been able to do, for most of the year so far. And, I think we settled, maybe took some quick shots, and Iowa made us pay. At halftime, I felt pretty good after the first quarter. At halftime, I felt like, all right, just settle down, get stops. We're going to grind back, get this thing. We had chances maybe get it down. I think we had a chance to get it to 7 in the third quarter. We missed. And they came down and scored. And, then you're pressing, and, you're opening the floor way up, giving shots up. And, that was the difference in the game. But that stretch in the third quarter, that was the window we had. Didn't get it done. Great crowd today. Proud of our team right now. I feel like, they gave everything they had. Things just didn't go our way, and that's going to happen. And probably the most important thing that'll happen is how you're going to bounce back.
Coach, you talk about that first quarter. Wolf got one post touch. Is that something that where you guys didn't get the ball into her enough, or did they just defend her really well inside?
We just offensively didn't do a very good job, really, with whether it's getting it to Wolf or, getting in the gaps or really, finding people behind their zone. We've been a great passing team, and tonight I felt like, we were a step behind. And, but Wolf is an integral part of what we do, and, we'll address that this week.
And speaking of that passing, you guys went 4 for 21 from 3. Seemed to the naked eye, at least, like a lot of those threes were on sort of, just moving the ball around a perimeter and then taking a shot. Do you think that it was a result of more of just a bad shooting night, or maybe not getting the penetration and kickouts?
Well, we got some penetration. We got some skip outs. We got some things off of ball screens. Not enough. You're right. We got stagnant for a while in our movement against their zone. And we settled. We settled when we weren't getting open 8, 10, 12-footers, 15-footers. That, Shide, Pulliam, and Wolf we need, along with, being able to play beyond the 3 too. And we're streaky. Against Maryland, we made a lot of those threes. It opened up our defensive pressure. We couldn't do that tonight.
And then generally scheme-wise, you guys haven't faced a ton of zone this year. Certainly some good zones, but not a ton. Do you think that their zone kind of had you guys off balance, or was it like just bad execution? What did you think the cause of the overall offensive dysfunction?
Well, I think the main thing, they did a good job in their zone in that they, didn't allow us to get inside the lane and kick or make plays at the rim, forced us to play a little bit east-west. The second part of that was they were able to score and get back in it. And, to me, that was the biggest difference tonight or today was that, they scored and we didn't get stops where we couldn't push, just to get them in transition where their zone had a scramble. They got set. We're playing against 5 people, in spots. And, we wanted to get them in a situation where they had to guard us inside out in transition. And Iowa did a good job, played a really good game.
Veronica Burton now has up to 15 steals in Big Ten play. She's about to probably lead the conference in steals again. What have you seen from her growth-wise? And she's only a sophomore.
She's a great player. I said this when we beat Maryland. I said the same thing at Marquette when she made a shot to send the game to overtime. She's fearless, and she's still, even though she's a sophomore, she plays like a 10-year veteran, and really proud of her. She's a great player, and she's going to have some nights when not everything goes her way, but she's tough. She bounces right back.
And then, obviously, you guys haven't had to bounce back from any big shock like this. How do you address it and get the team to move on quickly with the?
Yeah, listen, we start school tomorrow, so I think we'll get into this routine now in the Big Ten where We play Thursday at Minnesota, and we got a 2-game tournament next weekend, basically, Minnesota, Purdue. And that's how you got to look at it. And, you got to let this one loose, put it behind you and move forward. I don't want to sound like a lot of cliches, but that's what you have to do. We don't play Iowa. If we play them again, it would be in a Big Ten tournament. So, we got to do some things different. More concerned now about Minnesota. I'm more concerned really about us. So we'll be fine. Good question.
I asked Lindsay about it. Playing her with 3 other guards, what were you aiming to do by making that adjustment?
Well, we were really struggling to score. We tried to stretch out a little bit with some shooters, Jordan, different times, Birdie. Jess is a great shooter, and today was the first game since last year that she's been able to play physically. So, we'll try to get her back. She has great range. But I think we were just trying to spread the floor and then try to get some dribble, drive, kick, get into the lane, and really get out and run and maybe turn them over with on the defensive end, which we didn't do. We didn't do it when we had to in the third quarter.
Coach, you talk about that Iowa offensive success and some of the breakdowns you guys had. How much of that do you think was a factor of the Hawkeyes having that, 4-out, a lot of shooters on the floor, and also Doyle, who can penetrate and is so quick to get in, going in transition?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's impressed me is their post play, and both post players are really active. They hurt us when we needed stops. They played inside out, found shooters, or they were the recipient of easy buckets on drives. And Doyle is, Doyle, Meyer, Civilian. Those guys can really shoot, and they can stretch out. We just didn't do a very good job getting to them on the catch or cutting off, helping on drives.
Talk about the post play. Second straight game when you guys have been out rebounded by at least 10. Is that an issue that you're seeing fester, or is it just different game circumstances leading?
I think tonight, different. Maryland was more of an in the paint problem, where tonight, a little bit of both. So yeah, it's something that we want to be. We aspire to be a great team. I think we show flashes of that, but we got to rebound the ball better. There's no question.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.